Hello and welcome to my Glacor guide. This is the guide on how I kill Glacors. As Glacors are a very new boss, there may be new ways very soon on how to kill them. However, this is the way I kill them and may not be the best, but it is fairly efficient. First of all, the requirements. You must have completed Ritual of the Mahjarrat. With this, you will also have access to the fairy rings through Fairy Tale Part 3. To get there, you must use the fairy ring code DKQ. Once you have done this, you will be in the Glacor area. You also need a decent magic level, 80 plus, for accuracy. You also need good gear and some supplies. So the drops you can get from these are most common from the rare drops are the shards of Armadillo. These can be ground down into dust, which can then be made into Armadillo runes for the new spell. If you are 99 rune crafting, you can actually make 80 runes from each shard, so that's pretty good. Or you can save up your shards and make a Armadillo battle staff at level 77 crafting, which is currently very valuable and increases the power of the new spell. There are also 3 new boots. Each boot is the best boot for its respective combat class. So those can be very valuable, and it also has some other decent drops. It drops effigies very regularly and things like that. They are well worth killing. The gear for killing Glacors, I highly recommend Ahirams or better. So obviously Virtus would be better than that. Ahirams is pretty cheap, so hopefully you have it. Our Dome Cloak 3. This is very useful because it gives a +6 prayer bonus along with a +6 mage bonus. So it's useful for that. If you don't have that, then a God Cape also works. I have an Amulet of Fury. Amulet of Glory also works. Or if you have it, an Arcane Necklace also works. I have a Staff of Light. If you have a Chaotic Staff, use that. But Staff of Light's pretty good for this. I'm using a Spectral Spirit Shield. An Arcane Spirit Shield is obviously better. You usually aren't taking too much damage here, so you don't actually need to worry about an Elysian or Divine. A Mage's Book also works. A Zamrock Book. Either a good defensive shield or something that gives a good mage bonus works there. I'm using Chaos Gauntlets. This is because I'm using the Fire Bolt spell. And I'll get to that in a bit. But if you're going to use the Fire Bolt spell, you definitely want Chaos Gauntlets. Infinity Boots. Basically the best boots for mage. Some other options would be Mystic Boots if you want those. An Onyx Ring Imbued is one of the best rings for this. A Seer's Ring Imbued would obviously be better. Or just a normal Seer's Ring, but Onyx Ring Imbued is very good for this. I highly recommend bringing an Enhanced Excalibur as your special weapon. This is the second one, so it can heal 400. Of course, it's most useful if you're only using overloads, as it heals 400 and the overload deals 500, so gets you basically the entire health back. As I said, I'm using Firebolt spells. You can use Fire Wave or Fire Surge as well. However, my experience shows that Firebolt actually is more consistent hitting. Fire Wave and Surge can hit into 900s. This maxes out a little bit below 500 or so. But this seems to hit more consistently for me. And it's also a lot cheaper. These spells cost around half the price of a wave and about a quarter of the price of a surge. And with the Chaos Gauntlet, they hit as much as a blast, so I find them worthwhile. If you have overloads, you should definitely bring them. If you don't, preferably extreme potions. If you still don't have those, normal potions can work for this, but overloads are very helpful there. I bring a melee weapon to deal with the glacites. This is because I don't like wasting ruins on them, especially the enduring one, because it takes a lot of ruins to get that down. You want a healing familiar. I have a Titan. A unicorn is much better than a Titan for this, especially because a Titan attacks the Glacites and can actually kill the wrong one before you're ready for it. You can bring quick teleport out. You really don't need it. You can actually just run to the fairy ring and use that and bank in Zenaris. You basically just want some way to bank quickly and then get back there. So teleports to the GE works. Any teleport to Edgeville, or if you're like me and have a glory in your house, teleport to house and just use that. For me, 11 prayer potions works fairly well. Banking takes extremely short amounts of time, so you really don't have to worry about kills per trip, basically. Just focus on getting the Glacors down fairly quickly. I just bring some emergency healing, so 3 Ceridome Brews. If you're not bringing overloads, then you do not want Ceridome Brews, you want Rocktails instead. And then a restore for after the Ceridome Brews. You will not be taking a lot of damage, so you really don't have to worry about the amount of food. Some trips I use all 3 Ceridome Brews fairly quickly. If I mess up a little bit, on some trips I don't really use them at all, so if you do it right, you really do not need Ceridome Brews and just rely on your healing familiar, especially if your healing familiar is a unicorn. The first attack is a magic attack. This attack is fairly standard. It can be seen by the glowing ball, and it also uses its left arm while using this attack. This attack, though, cannot be completely blocked by Protect from Magic. The majority of the damage is reduced, though. It has a max hit of 50 if you are praying Protect from Magic. If you're not, then it has a max hit of around 300. So definitely watch for it and be ready to switch prayers. The second attack is a standard range attack. It uses its right arm and it basically is a spike. This can be completely blocked by protection prayers, so definitely use those while you're being attacked with this. The next attacks are all special attacks. I can only get footage of this one. Basically, it does a lean forward and launches a bunch of spikes. If you do not move, it will deal you for half your current life points, which basically is a maximum of 500, or if you're wearing Virtus, then it could go up to 700 or so. But it is avoidable. Just step 1 square and you'll be fine. It only uses this attack while ranging, so if you get attacked by this and you're praying mage like I was, also switch to Protect from range. The second special attack is a freezing attack. You will have encountered this during the quest. Basically, you get frozen and a message appears in your chat box, and you just have to spam click out of it, and you will be fine. The third is not really a special attack, but basically it has a chance of freezing you while it is maging you and you are not praying Protect from Magic. The last two are very rare, so do not really worry about them. The last important thing about Glacors is they spawn 3 Glacites. Now each Glacite has a special ability. There is the Endurance one, which has extremely high defense, and the defense goes up the closer you get to the Glacor. It has a Unstable one, which will heal up, and there will be another bar that increases. Once that reaches full, it will explode, dealing damage to itself and the things around it. Finally, there's a Sapping one, which saps your prayer, much like a level 22 in the Fight Caves. It is also important which one you kill last. Whichever one you kill last, the Glacor receives that ability for the second half of the fight. What this means is if you kill the Endurance one last, like many people are doing, then the defense for the Glacor will be extremely high for the remainder of the fight, and you'll find it very hard to deal damage. If you kill the Unstable Glacite last, the Glacor will heal occasionally, even though it deals some of the damage back. It only deals about 90% of the damage it heals. so it can make the kill much longer. And if you kill the sapping Glaciate last, the Glacor will sap your prayer. However, as you get lower in prayer, it saps at a slower rate. If you have around 100 prayer points, remember in the new system, then it only saps around 5 to 10 prayer points. Once again, in the new system, I highly recommend killing the sapping Glaciate last because it is one of the weakest Glaciates, and you can deal a very large amount of damage to the Glacor once it takes on that form. I also recommend when dealing with the Glaciates to lure the Glacor so you can simply pray melee and take no damage during this part of the fight. So the basic strategy is once you get in there, pot up. The Glacors are unaggressive, so you do not have to worry about that. And once you start attacking them, they will start with mage or range. You do want to stay outside of melee range because they do hit rather hard with melee. And once you start attacking, simply switch to the style they are using and keep attacking. Once the Glaciates spawn, you want to run backwards. You do want to attack the enduring Glaciate because that one is unaggressive. And then after that, go about defeating the Glaciates. I kill the unstable one first, then I kill the enduring one, and finally I end with the sapping one. For the last two Glaciates, I do use melee. For the unstable one, I use mage to kill it from a distance. And for the unstable one, you want to kill it right after it explodes, because then it is at a very low life point level. And once you kill the Glaciate, simply go back and finish off the Glacor. If you killed the sapping one last, do watch your prayer points. Thanks for watching. I hope it helped. If you have any questions, please ask them. I will do my very best to answer them. Future videos, I leave them for college, so the video rate will slow down a little bit, but I will continue producing as many videos as I can. So subscribe for those videos, and please rate and comment this video as it does help me make videos better.